Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. Welcome to my palace. What am I looking at, you ask? Ghana, of course. Ghana is a country in Western Africa. It also has a beautiful flag with red on the top, yellow in the center, green on the bottom, and a beautiful black star in the center.
Ghana is also a really culturally rich place.
Speaking of rich, Ghana isn't actually that wealthy at all. It's already ranked 115 on the OECD scale and can't really get that much lower. Even though Ghana isn't exactly the wealthiest, it is still the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to achieve the Millennium Development Goal, which is the target of having at least half of extreme poverty of what they already had. Speaking of goals to help Ghana grow bigger, let's talk about that.
Natural resources.
Ghana actually has quite a few natural resources. In 2016, they did have a 45% jump from gold mining, and almost 50% or more of their exporting is all gold, which is pretty incredible if you think about it. Ghana was really good at gold, finding gold, mining that, and getting that out of there as fast as possible. But now, they're starting to move away from it. I think they should as well. After all, they are starting to lose that mineral. It was only a matter of time before the gold ran out. It is an unrenewable resource, such as oil and gas. Speaking of those two, Ghana actually has a lot of it. It has 660 million barrels of oil and 22 billion cubic meters of reserves all around Ghana. That's a lot if you ask me.
They're all proven to be there as well. Let's take a look at the flip side of those non-renewable resources. Cocoa beans are actually one of Ghana's most important crops. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but cocoa beans make 13% of Ghana's exports, which is pretty important. Uncoincidentally, they're ranked number 2 for top cocoa bean exporters. The competitor is right next to Ghana, its name being Cote d'Ivoire. Now, enough said about what we have. Let's talk about how we can use that to make us better. Ghana's improvement plan. Like I mentioned earlier, Ghana is still 115 on the OECD scale. Now, how do we change that? Well, one of the most obvious things is to go straight for the oil. There is still 660 million barrels of oil. Using the price of cost per gallon in US, I calculated it to be $44 billion worth of oil right in Ghana. How are we going to do that, you ask? Well, our GDP is 44 billion. We can use 30% of that to go towards funding into drilling for oil and drilling for gas as well. Knowing that we have 22 billion square meters of natural gas, we can divide that by 100 to find CCF. A bit of math later and you can find that all the natural gas in Ghana is equal to about $453 million. We have 30% funding overall in the economy game. So, I think we should spend 10% on drilling for oil, 10% on natural gas mining, and another 10% on something else I haven't mentioned yet. Why, of course, it's cocoa beans! Oil and natural gas is still pretty new to Ghana, but we still always have our reliable cocoa beans. Last year we didn't quite meet our cocoa bean goal, so in this year I'm intending to reach that goal, so we should increase our production all the way by 10%. Last year we had an immense growth of 8.5%. We're going to keep this train going, and we're either going to keep on going faster or stay at the same rate we are now, and this plan will help us in some way.
Oh, yeah, and about that nuclear power plant stuff? No.
Call me a scaredy cat, but that idea is way too unreliable. Ghana is in a really good place right now, and it's gonna stay that way, and if not, it's gonna get so much better. Now, what do I think? I don't think Ghana actually needs that much help. Now let's all give a big round of applause to Ghana!
That's all, folks.